Hi guys, this is Sandeep, Too Old for Gaming. Thank you for joining me on this stream. Kind of last minute, I was planning actually to stream XCOM, but I thought, after the news that I only heard about an hour and a half ago, I thought actually let's choose Killzone. So if you aren't aware, the Killzone servers have been shut down by Sony, which means there is no more multiplayer for Killzone servers, for Killzone Mercenary, which is really rubbish. I mean, this is a brilliant game, one of the best games I think um, on the Vita, and knowing that the servers are not there, knowing that those multiplayer trophies are now locked, is just rubbish. So just to kind of show you guys what happens, um, you can't actually connect to to the servers. So let me just let you guys take a look at what happens if you try and start an online game. It says joining game and then says matchmaking service failed. So yeah, we can't play online anymore, which is really disappointing. So we've got a lot of trophies that have just been locked now because of that. Now, it's not completely completely end of Killzone. They do have Bot Zone, which is a single player mode where you can still play on all of the multiplayer maps, but with bots rather than people, which is good. It's something, but it's so disappointing that Sony have shut this down. I mean, okay, we know they're going to shut these things down eventually, but for them to do it just stealth out of the blue without telling anybody is just rubbish. Um, so yeah, I'm very disappointed. So I thought, hey, let's stream this game. Let's celebrate how goddamn good it is. But hey, thank you guys for joining. So I can see in the comments, Mad Strike, John, Ronald, Adrian, Drowning Lemming. Thanks guys for joining. Yeah, Drowning Lemming, XCOM 2 is. I've started playing on the Switch. Haven't got very far to be fair, but yeah, I was actually thinking I'll stream XCOM on the Vita, but then this happened. I thought, okay, let's just play this instead. So Ambers, I don't know. I think you can play it local if you have somebody to play with ad hoc. Then you probably can play with someone. I've never done it myself, to be honest. Um, there is, like I said, kind of a bit before, there is bot zone. So you can still play these maps with the computer, which is fine. That's something. I don't know if that locks out all the trophies completely. I think I need to look into that a little bit and just find out does that mean that that we don't get any trophies anymore? Maybe we can. I don't know. Not sure. But if you guys haven't played it before, this is a superb game. This is one of those games that really kind of showed the power of the Vita. It looked amazing. It was really fun to play. Great multiplayer as well. It was just really good. And it was one of those games that really kind of showed that actually oops, I did not mean to do that. Need to get used to the controls again. It was one of these games that really showed what the Vita was capable of. Um, so yeah, it's oh wow, I died pretty quickly. Thanks for subscribing, Ambers. Cheers. Yeah, please bear with me, guys, while remember again how to play this game. The last time I played it was probably about how long? Maybe a year and a half ago. No, actually, no, it must have been a bit longer than that. It was when I was writing the second Vita book, and I played it again just so I can get loads of all the images and kind of remind myself about it. Wow, I'm getting destroyed. um, so yeah, that was the last time I played it, and I got loads of images for the book, based on that. Um, but yeah, the game is it's a lot of fun. It's really hard as well. So the normal single player is actually not too bad. But what you can do is you can play this contract mode, which is basically um, you get to play the single player mode again, but it gives you kind of certain objectives, like you have to kill everyone or you have to stealth the mission. Certain kind of objectives, ways you have to play, which actually was really good fun and really tough. I was never able to actually finish that mode. Ah, Nate, thanks for confirming that. So the trophies can be unlocked in bot mode using bot zone apparently, which is good to hear. Yeah, I think it's something I still need to try and get these trophies. There's I think I got all the single player ones. Actually no, I didn't get all the contracts ones. That's something I still need to get as well. But like I was saying earlier, guys, it's just really disappointing that Sony has gone ahead and just shut down these servers without any warning whatsoever to people. And this isn't the first time they've done stuff like this. Well, in fact, they seem to be doing it quite a lot recently. We've had on the PSP, on the PSN for the PSP games, we had Gran Turismo and Wipeout Pure removed. They removed PS Now, obviously, like a couple of years ago. They're ending Sony Vita card production on in Asia. So it's like it just seems like everything they're doing, they're trying to do to end the Vita, which is just a shame. It's one of these things where it's like just let it be. It's like it's got its little fan base. Just let it be. Let us have our system. Let us play our games. But nope, they have to do everything they can to just kind of kill this awesome little system. Oh, so Mad Strike. So hands off my trophy. Uh, you don't think it can be unlocked? Okay, so maybe there isn't. Maybe there is some trophies that can't be unlocked unless you've got multiplayer. Wow, I'm getting really destroyed. So also, guys, let me just apologize as well. I've got pretty bad allergies right now, so if my voice sounds a little funny, then that's why. Hopefully, you guys can hear the audio okay. I know last time I streamed there was a bit of an echo, and so when I played it back later on, I did hear that the echo as well. But hopefully, it's okay this time round. I tried to adjust some of the settings to make sure it was a bit better. Okay. So get your filthy hands off my kill as a trophy, where you need to kill an enemy while they're interrogating one of your teammates. So yeah, that's not going to be possible then, unless I don't believe the bots would do that in bot zone. So we may have that may be another platinum trophy locked, just like Wipeout 2048 as well. It's still definitely a great game to play. Like I said, the single player is really good. But yeah, it's just a shame. Just a shame we've lost that. So this game, for people that don't know, it came out in 2013. So it was the second year of the Vita being out. And oh, okay. Second year of the Vita being out, and we had two pretty not great first-person shooters. Um, we had Resistance Retribution, and we had Killzone. Sorry, not Killzone. Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, which weren't great. Black Ops Declassified, it was, it's one of these games that should have almost been like the savior of the Vita, and it just got slated completely in reviews, completely destroyed. A lot of that was because the short single player. It literally you could complete the whole game in 1 hour, which is pretty bad. So this was kind of like Sony's chance to prove that the Vita is a good place for first person shooters, and it is. When it's got the twin analog sticks really help it. It's great for first person shooters, or it would be. But we just ended up not getting that many, which is a shame. And so this game had a lot to prove, which and I personally think it did. I think the reviews, some of them were a little harsh. I think it only has a Metacritic of 78, and I think it deserves way more than that. I think it's actually one of the best games on the Vita and still holds up today. So sorry, just gonna look back at the comments. So Mad Strike, you wonder if enough people will fuss, Sony will restart it. I don't know. They don't seem to care that much about the Vita, to be honest. And yeah, you're right. They have yanked multiplayer without warning, which is just really disappointing that they do that. So I don't see them actually helping us out and restarting servers like that. Yeah, it'd be great if they just put it back on for 90 days and gave us a chance to get the trophies, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Rob, okay, so Rob Hughes is saying that bots do interrogate, so we can get the trophy, which is great. Okay, that would be awesome if that's the case. So I'm actually trying to figure out. I want to go back. That's weird. I'm trying to go back to the regular mode, but it doesn't seem to let me. The buttons don't seem to do anything. All right, I think I might be stuck playing bot zone now. That's very weird. There's literally no back button here for me to go back onto the main menu. Okay, I'll be playing this for a little bit longer then. Let me choose a different map. Hey, Ashwin. Yep, good to have you back. So Billy, yes. So if you joined a little bit late, guys, so the multiplayer servers on Killzone Mercenaries has been removed. It only kind of came out about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago on another website, and so it was tweeted. It was on Twitter, and really, really rubbish news. Which I wasn't actually going to stream Killzone Mercenaries today, but hearing that news, I thought, well, let's do that. John, I agree. So John Fernandez said the game actually runs better than some of the multiplayer Switch games, and yeah, it runs brilliantly. It really does. It looks amazing on the Vita screen as well. It's just such a kind of gritty game, and just looks great. Great, and the story as well, the variety in the levels. I think it's just brilliant. Definitely worth picking up, guys, if you haven't played this before. So, Rob, you farmed the online trophies earlier. That's smart. Had to play what? So Rob Hughes had to play one online game for about 120 bot zones before he got one of the trophies, the interrogation trophy. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm not sure I've got the patience for that, but I'll see how it goes. Like I said, some of the trophies on the single player are actually really hard to get, um, especially later in the game. So it's not easy at all. But yeah, it's a real shame this one is now gone. It also kind of makes me wonder, when you think about other online games, like Freedom Wars, Little Big Planet, Soul Sacrifice, how long do we have for those games as well? Is Sony going to pull the plug unexpectedly? Who knows? Hopefully not, but yeah, it's hard to tell. So, if you're thinking about playing any of those games like Soul Sacrifice, Freedom Wars, etc., it's probably good to do that now rather than trying to wait. And actually, last time I went online, Freedom Wars did have people playing. That was about maybe a year ago now, but it did have a lot of people online, and I was always able to find a room and find people to play with. And actually, Freedom Wars is a game where you really need to play online. It's super tough in the end game. Getting that platinum trophy is really hard. So definitely worth trying to get into it and try and get the trophies now if that's what you want to do. I didn't have the patience to do it in the end. It was just a little bit too much, I found. trying to get through all of it. Ah, so Mad Strike, you got the Platform Freedom Wars. Nice. It's a really tough one. It's tough. I think when you're trying to play alone. When you've got people, really experienced people to play with, it's not too bad. Although it does take a lot of time, a lot of grinding. So well done. Octavio. So as far as I know, Soul Sacrifice servers are still going. Haven't heard anything differently on that. Although I may just give it a test in the next few days just to make sure that's the case. I feel like I'm getting better at this game. I'm getting my feel for it again. I say that, I'm probably going to die straight away after this. Wow, yeah. The shotgun is pretty powerful. So yeah, guys, if you're just joining, I just want to say thank you for joining. So I've only streamed once before. A few days ago, I was streaming Uncharted Golden Abyss, um, and it's cool. It's cool just being online, chatting to other people with who are fans of the Vita about the Vita. Always good fun. So I mentioned this on the previous stream as well, but I'm actually using my Vita, my hacked Vita, to stream this. Um, so I'm basically there's a plugin you can get so you can actually stream out to a PC from your Vita, which is awesome. So I'm streaming out from my Vita and actually playing this on the Vita, like streamed out to the PC. And the best thing about that is that even games that need touchscreen, can be played. So, things like Little Big Planet or Uncharted, those games you can't really play them without the touchscreen. So it's actually great doing it this way than rather than the TV, PSTV, because you can play everything. So Buy Bubble's asking PS Vita 2. I would love that. I just don't see Sony doing it. I think they've kind of given up on handhelds in general, which is disappointing, especially since its PS Vita sold way better than PSVR. When you look at the sales of the two devices over the first few years, PS Vita did way better, but for some reason Sony's like really pushing PSVR and not Vita. Um, I don't get it, but maybe they have a reason. I don't know. But I don't see them making a PS Vita 2. I think they've just given up on it completely. Um, I think they've just and part of me thinks, would I even want a PS Vita 2? Um, it would be awesome. It'd be cool. I'd love to have all my games kind of backward compatible from this onto a stronger system and have more games and more modern games. But I don't know. I don't trust them at the same time. It seems like if they don't have a system that is selling massively, they just give up on whatever it is. Um, they throw a lot of things at the wall. They try a lot of ideas, which is good. I'm glad they do that. But then they also just abandon things very quickly. So I'm not sure I would trust them to make a PS Vita 2 as well. And actually, as you're saying, Buy Bubble, the Switch Lite is kind of the PS Vita 2. I think I would love it if it had more of the features of the Vita, like Bluetooth, or like the same size really, and the form factor of the Vita. That's one of the things I love about it, just how easy it is to kind of hold and comfortable it is to play. Whereas I find the Switch Lite is just with the kind of square edges, I don't find it as comfortable to hold. So that's one of the reasons why the Vita is still kind of my favorite handheld, favorite device. Rob Hughes, yeah, so Naughty Dog did more for the Vita in the recent state of play than Sony have done the last few years. Um, cool. Thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying the streams. Yeah. So I don't know if everyone's seen that, but in the Last of Us 2 trailer that came out recently from Naughty Dog, they had a Vita in the trailer, and Ellie was killing somebody who was playing playing a Vita. So that was kind of all over the internet for a day or so. But it's like at least it kind of showed that they actually Sony remembers, or at least maybe Naughty Dog remembers the Vita. John, so yeah, Vita for you, a Vita 2 would be an instant buy. I mean, it probably would for me. For all my kind of annoyance at Sony, I've still got Last of Us 2 on pre-order, and very, very excited to get it. But yeah, I'm sure I would buy a PS Vita 2, even though I'd be hesitant about what they'd really be doing with it and how they'd be supporting it. Mad Strike, yeah, PSVR 2 probably do a lot better now. Yeah, I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would. Although I've got an Oculus Quest, which actually is awesome when it comes to VR. So it's wire-free VR, which is really really cool. So yes, I do want to go to main menu. Good. So that's really cool. So I think that's a lot better than the PSVR personally, with all the wires. So Rick Weiss, all they have to do is learn from the. So your comment is all they have to do is learn from the mistakes like memory card price. Um, I agree. I agree. They should, if they brought a Vita 2 out, they should learn from that. I think also putting some actual memory card space into the actual system would be a lot better. Like I said, I would love to see it happen. I'm just hesitant on how well they would treat it. I would hope they treat it well, and I know I'd buy it straight away. But you just never know with these guys. You don't know if they're gonna how much they're gonna really support it. Um, but yeah, I'd probably still buy it day one. So Taylor Green, yeah, you need a grip for any handheld. I mean, yeah, I hold the Vita without a grip. I do have the Hori Remote Play grip, which is really comfortable. So that is actually pretty good for gripping the Vita. But for the Switch, I have a grip. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like the Orly grip or something for the Switch Lite. And that's really good. That is really good. It does make it a lot more comfortable, but it makes it less portable as well, which is a problem for me. So when I go to work, I normally just put my Vita in my pocket in my blazer and just take it. Although, actually, to be fair, I haven't been to work in so long now, so it's probably doesn't even matter anymore. But I still prefer kind of the Vita, just being able to take it and go anywhere. So Rick Weiss, you said you like the Switch, but they really skimped on the build quality. Yeah, I mean the Vita just feels more premium, especially the OLED one with the kind of metal case. Um, the Switch Lite's more plasticky, but actually it still looks great. It's sorry, the Vita Slim is more plastic, but it still looks great, and it's still just a much better system I find anyway to hold and play on. And I wish actually the Switch Lite had Bluetooth on it as well. The battery is still not great on the Switch Lite. So I've been playing my Switch Lite since, I got it day one when it came out last September, I believe. And the battery's not that good. I found it was better at launch than it is now, which is, hopefully that's just me. And well, hopefully it's not just me, but hopefully my system isn't just a bit rubbish and broken or something. But the battery life is not great on the Switch. So BuyBubble44 says the PS Vita is dead because the president who marketed it is gone. So suddenly Jim Ryan, he doesn't care. He could recreate a PS Vita 2, but you got to spam them with complaints. Yeah, I think even complaints or noise won't work. They're too deep into the PS5. I know somebody asked mentioned kind of do I think PS5 sorry the Vita would work with PS5 Remote Play? I don't think so. I don't think Sony would bother doing that. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but you can remote play your PS4 to a mobile phone. So I think that's the route that Sony have taken when it comes to remote play. So I don't see them going ahead with doing remote play to the Vita. And it was never perfect just because you haven't got that second L2 R2 buttons. And I think they just won't bother. I think they'll just go ahead and make it compatible for remote play to phones or to PCs or Macs, but they won't do it to the Vita. Yeah, crazy old man, totally agree. Killzone is awesome, so much to do in this game. I mentioned it earlier, but the contracts mode especially adds so much time to the multiplayer. Sorry, the single player. Uh, it just gives like a massive amount of content to this game. And then, okay, we don't have multiplayer anymore, which is just rubbish. But Bot Zone is still fun. We've got that at the very least. Yeah, Drowning Lemming says it baffles me how. Sorry, let me just do this. Sorry, just had to melee kill this guy. Had to concentrate on the screen for a second. Drowning Lemming says it baffles me how Nintendo fanboys excuse the lack of features the Vita has, and prefer just the simple kind of UI. Yeah, I think, look, I like my Switch Lite. It is good. It's a cool system. Actually, well, it's got cool games. That's the kind of the biggest thing for me. Um, it's got a lot of cool games, things like Witcher 3. It's kind of amazing that you can play that on a handheld. But when it comes to the actual, the system and wanting to play it, I think the Vita is just, for me, it just feels like a better system and more comfortable to play. Yeah, it's got a great soundtrack. Snatch. It's a really good soundtrack for this game. I think it won an award for the soundtrack actually, from memory. I can't remember who it was now, but somebody pretty famous kind of wrote the music for this game. I'm not really used to using this gun before, which you have to charge up. I'm sure it was my fault for putting it in in my loadout. So Britta says battery. Oh, thanks for joining, Britta. By the way, battery is not great on the V2 Big Switch either. Yeah, the Vita battery is amazing. Um, I have had time, like left the Vita alone for weeks and weeks, and come back to it, and it's the battery is still there and still pretty high. So yeah, the battery is amazing on the Vita and the PSP as well. I remember leaving my PSP for a few months and coming back to it, and it still had charge on it, which is just amazing. Okay, maybe I can change my loadout now. I've found a case. So Snatch says, yeah, Vita battery on both models is amazing, better than my mobile. Yeah, agree. It is such a great battery. What gun shall I choose? Okay, let's go with a silenced gun. Yeah, Drowning Lemming, yeah, makes a good point. That's the thing. We love the games on the Switch, but the experience on the Switch is boring. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it does have great games, just not as it's not the system for me when it wants to play. Octavia says you can play Witcher 3 by remote play, which is true. Which is true. But if I'm on a train or something, then having it on the Switch has pretty cool. And you get the Mad Strike says you get the nice jazzy music on the Vita. Yep, that music is forever in my head. So Rick Vice says it would be cool to see even an Xbox handheld. Um, yeah, it would. So actually, funny enough, I've actually bought a new handheld system. I think I backed it on Indiegogo. It's like a kind of a mini PC handheld. I think it's by a company called GPD. I think it's a GPD Max. That looks pretty cool. I mean, to be fair, it's more of an emulation system than anything else, rather than something where we'd get native games for. But you can actually log into Steam on it in Epic Store. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that and seeing how it plays. Yeah, Mad Strike. I think yeah, that's it. GPD Win Max. That's it. I've ordered that on. I think it is Indiegogo or something. I saw it on there's a YouTube channel I'm subscribed to, Taki Udon, and he was talking about it and showed it off on his channel. It looks very cool, very bulky, but it's still, the fact that it was kind of a almost handheld or very small laptop, um, and it can you can emulate PS3, PS2 games. I can get my whole Steam library, which but I've got quite a lot of games on Steam, but normally from like humble bundle sales and stuff like that, where you just bought games and just never actually played them. So maybe I'll finally get to play all these games on Steam or the Epic Store where I got all those freebies, um, and finally actually get to play them. This was a cool scene, just sort of jumping off. I know it's like this cut scene, but just very cool, just showing off kind of the graphics the Vita is capable of, and then jumping straight into gameplay. Oh, so Mad Strike, you backed it as well. You got the prior version. Um, yeah, it just looks like a very cool system. But I can still see myself playing the Vita for a long, long time. I've got a massive backlog of games still to play. So this game, if you're unaware, it was actually made by Guerrilla Cambridge, so one of Sony's studios in the UK. And after this, they went on to make Rigs on PSVR, and then they shut them down. Which actually, it was funny because when I was researching my book, um, I was just researching some of the games on the Vita, and especially the early games made by Sony. And it seemed like a lot of the studios who actually made these games actually got shut down pretty soon afterwards, which is pretty rubbish. It seems like they kind of it's one of those, another example where it's almost they need to have a pure success or they just decide to shut things down. But I think given the Vita's small install base, the games were never going to be like huge successes. So Marcelino's, thanks for joining again. Your wish list for a Vita 2 is the same form factor as the original: 7-inch OLED screen, L2R2, bigger joysticks, internal memory, and games like PUBG or COD Mobile. Yeah, that would all be awesome. That would all be really good. Um, I'd love to see backwards compatibility with PS3 games. And so, like imagine if you could download your PS3 library onto a handheld. That would be very cool. Given especially how many games I've got on the PS3 that I just never got to. Um, Things like the Assassin's Creed games and stuff like that. I would just love to have them, kind of on a new device and be able to play them again. So Marcelino, PS Now could be the thing for portable devices. Yeah, it could. It's actually really disappointing. It got shut down on the Vita. Um, I love PS Now on the Vita. I remember I finished Borderlands. What's the last Borderlands? The third one? Sorry, not Borderlands. Bioshock Infinite. That was it. I finished Bioshock Infinite, Motorstorm Apocalypse. I love PS Now. It wasn't perfect. Admittedly, sometimes the quality of the stream to the Vita wasn't great, but it was still awesome way to play like a whole massive library of games. So Mad Strike, you've got at least 200 games for the Vita. Yeah, I can relate. I don't know how many games I've got, but it's a lot. Especially in terms of the backlog, a lot of games still to get to. So Link Yuribo. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This is your favorite Killzone game. Um, Actually, it's mine too. Yeah, it's definitely. I really like this game. Um, I thought it was a lot better than Killzone 2, which I actually got bored of the single player. And Killzone 3, I think I didn't actually. Yeah, I didn't finish a single player for that one as well. This was the only one where I did finish it. But to be honest, I do prefer handheld games generally. I find it just, it's easier to make time to play handheld games. And so, I do much prefer kind of having games on a system like this. So Mad Strike, a good thing about the pandemic is you can get to your backlog of games. Um, yeah, I actually I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake for the last few weeks, so I don't normally spend that much time playing on my PS4. I normally kind of sit in bed and play in the Vita or something. But actually, with Final Fantasy VII, I actually made the effort to sit in front of the TV and play my PS4. Um, but yeah, that really kind of kept me hooked. I'm kind of glad I finished it now. I loved it, really loved it. But now if when Last of Us 2 comes out, I've got that done, so I can get to that, which is good. And then yeah, I think Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk, probably the last couple of games I'll play on the PS4. Don't know if you guys were aware of it as well, but we had a new Vita game out this week. I can't actually. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. Ultima. Well, no, I better pronounce it so I can talk about it. Utamare Reino. Sorry, I probably butchered that name completely. But if you guys haven't picked it up, it's a turn-based strategy game slash visual novel. Uh, so I grabbed it. I haven't put enough time into it, only a couple of hours, so I need to give that a bit more time, and then I'll have a review up on my channel for it. I haven't played the previous games in the series, but it's I think given it's the probably last game from a big publisher or big-ish publisher, NIS, it's one I wanted to make sure that I'd grab. So I'm just going through the single player right now, guys. I started from the very first mission. Thought I'd give this a go again. Let you guys check out the single player if you haven't seen the game. Um, and for anyone who's kind of joined late, I was talking earlier that the servers for Killzone Mercenary on the Vita have been shut down, which is just a load of rubbish. It's not entirely surprising because Sony would shut down the servers, but they didn't give any notice that they were going to do this, and just went ahead and shut them down. And yeah, just really rubbish. So I thought I'd show this game off again, do a little stream, and play it for you guys. So Art Soldier asks, oh no, I'll ask Mad Strike. You said technically it's the first game in the series. Yep, that's true. Actually, it is. Um, Snatch says, are you buying a PS5 day one? Probably not. I did buy a PS4 day one. I mean, I don't think I am at this point. It's funny because I said that originally I wouldn't buy the PS4 day one as well. And then I remember going to a store at midnight trying to track one down. So, I don't plan on getting a PS5. Sony will have to show me something really impressive to change my mind on this. Ah, damn. I'm trying to do this stealth, but I managed to get myself spotted. Um, Art Soldier asks, is it possible that if all Vita fans around the world made some kind of petition, Sony will revive this abandoned child? I don't see it happening, I'm afraid. Um, I've seen people put petitions on before. They don't care. To be brutally honest, they don't care at all. Um, I think they're pretty much done with the Vita. They just want to get to the PS5. They want a system that's going to make them money. They are not gonna. They're not gonna. Don't devote any more time to the Vita, unfortunately. Yeah, as Mad Strike says, there's no money in it. I mean, theoretically, given the success of the Switch, maybe there is some money in it, but Sony don't seem to care. They yeah, they don't seem to care if there is any money in it. So Choco Smoke is asking, is this PSTV? So no, I'm actually playing this on my Vita. This is a hacked Vita. So on a hacked Vita, you can install something called the uh, actually no, I shouldn't even try and say the name because I've forgotten it completely. There is a an add-on you can install, which lets you stream out from the Vita to a PC or to a monitor, um, which is really cool. It's it's a really awesome little hack. Um, like I'm not you know advocating piracy in any way. I don't think Vita owners should be pirating games, but this as a some of the functionality of a hacked Vita is just incredible. Some of the stuff that people have figured out is just really cool, and this is one of them. This is just an awesome functionality over a hacked Vita that you can just stream out to a TV. Oops, I closed the door. So yeah, it's like I said this mentioned kind of earlier. I don't normally stream, guys. I'm normally kind of um, a YouTuber where I try and record the video, try and write my script. But I thought recently I'll give it a try. I'm kind of glad to be doing it, to be honest. Okay, got spotted again. That was silly of me. Um, Choco Smoke says, so you got yours? Yeah, you got your Vita modded as well. This is definitely a very cool hack to have installed. So Mr. Destructo74 says, I bought a Vita at launch. Oops, sorry, just gotta kill this guy. I bought a Vita at launch, pre-ordered it, and was so pumped to go to the store and get it. Walked in, no lineup at EB Games or displays. Yeah, I should have known Sony gave up on it day one. Um, I don't know. In the UK, I felt like they did actually have a fair amount of kind of advertising. There were billboards about it. I remember my local game store. They had a Switch available to, sorry, a Vita available to try out. Yeah, I actually thought in the UK at least they were doing okay. Not great, but it was something. They were trying. But then they did give up pretty quickly. It was they didn't last long with the marketing on the Vita. I'm not sure about the US how much they really did for you guys over there. Choco Smoke, yeah, Mario 64 is playable. You've so again, I'm not sure another recent sort of functionality in the kind of hacking community is you can actually play N64 games now on the Vita, which is pretty cool. Um, there's a lot of functionality, like I said, in this hack Vita. I think one of my favorite ones is just being able uh, to take photos of games like PSP games and PS1 games, which you couldn't do previously. So that's really cool. You can overclock the system, so things like Borderlands play a lot better. Um, yeah, there's just a lot you can do with it. It's very cool. Oh, Choco Smoke, you just donated $10, dude. No, please, you don't need to do that. This is just for fun, man. Dude, can I refund you? Really, you don't need to do that. If you can reverse that, please do. That was totally unnecessary. It's appreciated, but really, you don't need to do that, man. I need to find a way to refund you, man. That's not cool. That's too much, really. Um, Joey says, bringing back some good memories. Yeah, this game is awesome. It's crazy. It's 7 years old. Totally crazy to think that this game is 7 years old. It doesn't feel like it. When I think about some of those launch Vita games, they still feel really fresh to me. Um, so yeah, it just feels quite crazy to know that this has been around for so long. Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks, Choco Smoke. Really appreciate it. That's very cool. So Lie Detector asks, are the servers shut down permanently? It appears that way. Um, you know, I don't know if Sony will even talk about this, to be honest, for us to learn more from them. I think for them it's just kind of, they don't talk about the Vita anymore, apart from the Naughty Dog video to show somebody, Ellie killing a Vita fan. Other than that, we don't get anything from Sony on the Vita. So yeah, it's disappointing. Thanks very much, Choco Smoke. Really appreciate it. Art Soldier says, I want PS2 games on my Vita. Ah, that is one thing I was really, really hoping we would get. Um, when the Vita came out, we had games like Metal Gear Solid Collection. There was Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, um, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X2. Um, I thought we would be getting a lot more PS2 games for the Vita. I really wish we had got the Kingdom Hearts collection, um, Final Fantasy 12. There were so many games that should have come to the Vita, and I think a lot of people would have bought them. But yeah, they just wasted that opportunity. Really disappointing. Really disappointing. Ali Guy asks, is there any lag in the gameplay when streaming with add-on? Yes, well, no, I am not sure. When I record, there is no lag, but I do wonder actually if you guys are seeing a bit of a lag in terms of the stream and what I'm saying and what is being shown on the video. Um, on YouTube Studio, I can kind of see what it looks like you guys are seeing, and it does feel like there's a bit of a lag. But hopefully it's not too bad, guys. But thank you for joining and putting up with that if that's the case. Um, so Kanye asks, we kind of mentioned this before about whether I would buy a successor to the Vita from Sony. I think I said earlier that I would buy it, but I'd just be very hesitant about Sony, just the way based on the way they've treated the Vita previously. Uh, whether you could almost trust them to do a successor and treat it right, basically. Uh, Rick, are you serious? Rick, you just donated $49, $50, dude. Guys, please, this is not necessary. This is just for fun. This is just Vita fans hanging out and chatting. Um, wow, thank you so much. That's so unnecessary. Um, I don't know what to say. Thank you, man. Um, wow. Uh, Guys, honestly, you don't need to give me anything. This is just for fun. This is just us hanging out. So please don't worry about doing that. It's really appreciated. Thank you though. Um, well, look, if this is what you guys are doing, then I'm gonna, you guys tell me what you want me to stream next, and what you want to play, and if I'm also happy to kind of do some giveaways and stuff on these things as well. Um, this feels like way too much, but thank you so much. Out of interest, guys, is the audio sounding better? I know when like I mean, this is the second time I've ever done this, so I'm kind of still learning sort of the ins and outs of streaming. But I know the audio was echoey a couple of days ago when I streamed. I tried to adjust some of the settings. Hopefully, it has worked. But yeah, please let me know if that's not the case, and I can make sure I figure that out for next time as well. Dude, Drowning Lemming, what are you guys doing? You guys are being way too generous. Um, Thank you so much. Really, this is totally unexpected, but really appreciate it, guys. Choco Smoke, I should stream more. Thank you. Okay, I'd be happy to. Um, I've always kind of done the YouTube reviews. I feel quite um, I feel like, having that preparation, writing the script, and then being ready always feels more comfortable. But I think I just like the idea of sort of coming on here and just kind of chatting, and especially like talking to you guys and taking questions from you guys and talking about the Vita. It just feels pretty cool and just a bit more, um, a bit more sort of real and not as sort of separate as it does when I'm kind of on just doing a review on my own. And I think also just given how, you know, the Vita, there aren't many of us fans left, so it's kind of nice just to be able to come on here and chat to a few of you as well. Um, so Aaron Santos asks, I do have Twitch. I've never actually, I don't think I've ever, I know I've never streamed on it. I have uploaded videos before just to kind of try it out. But I just found, yeah, I don't know. I've just been always more comfortable with YouTube, so I just kind of stuck with it. So I never really learnt Twitch very well or tried it much. So the lie detector says the memory card is a big problem for the Vita. That alone kept me from being able to play Killzone multiplayer. I remember when Killzone Mercenary came out, the install day one patch was massive. It was like 2 gigs or something silly. Um, I bought the game physically and then had to install the patch, and it was really massive. Maybe two, maybe I'm misremembering it, but it was. I remember it being really big. Um, and then now, though, it's actually a lot smaller. They've managed to somehow make it hugely smaller. It was only like 500 megs now or something. And then downloading bot zone didn't take too much either. So it was they've managed somehow to work on that and really make it better. Cool, Choco Smoke. So live rocks. Yeah, cool. I'm glad to hear, guys. This is cool. I'm really glad that you guys are kind of joining me and happy to be on. I think one of the things I do need to do is probably kind of give people more notice when I'm planning to do this. The first time it was almost like I'm just going to do it now without really. I didn't really kind of think or plan much. I was just kind of excited to try the streaming and just especially based on I was able to now use this hack to stream it to my Vita. But yeah, no, it's now that I know that I can do this and that it seems to work pretty well. Um, that I'll make sure I do this much more often and give you guys warning. I can put it on my YouTube channel in the community section when I'm going to do this. And Choco Smoke says, "Yep, the SD Vita card fixes everything. It definitely does. It's a very cool feature. So I've got I mentioned this on the previous stream. I've got a few Vitas, and so on one of my Vitas, this is one of my hack Vitas. I got another one. On that one, I've got SD2 Vita. This one, I've just got the regular memory card, and this is the one I'm tending to use more and just almost saving the other one. But on that one, I've kind of just got like I think it's 256 gig SD card. I'm just kind of leaving it there. It's like my backup in case something happens to this one. Um, but this one is kind of the main one, and especially one of the things I love about a hack beta is being able to try and use Japanese games with an English patch. It's such a cool feature. So I've got the Trail series, all of those games, the Evolution versions that I bought from Japan. It's like 5 of them, and so 4 of them have got an English patch available, which is really cool. I've never tried those games, so I really want to give them a go and kind of get into them properly. Kevin Thomas, thank you. He said that he likes how laid back I sound and my videos. Thank you. I've kind of, yeah, I not really one of these kind of guys or streamers that wants to just kind of shout and get excited about stuff. It's just playing games and just chatting with you guys. Uh, Lie detector, can I add you on the PS Vita? Yeah, my PSN is the word insightful, but with a 1 for the. You know what? I forgot my PSN name. It's insightful, and there's a 1 for either the first eye or the second eye. It's probably the second eye from memory. Apologies, guys. I don't think I haven't played online for a little while. I don't normally look at my PSN anymore. So it's insightful, the word insightful, but with a 1 for either the first or the second eye. Sorry, I'll actually check that and make sure I know that next time before I start streaming. Choco Smoke, thank you guys. It's very cool to have you guys, and thank you so much for the donations, guys. Really appreciate it. Javier, thank you for joining. So you've got this game as well. It's a brilliant game, guys. Really good game. The single player isn't super long. The campaign, it's probably how long? Maybe 6 or 7 hours. I think it took me to finish. I think it can be finished quicker. I remember some people saying they could finish it in like 4 hours or something, but I think it took me about 6 or 7 hours. But then yeah, it's got a lot more there. And if you guys, new people to the stream, haven't heard the news, the servers for Killzone Mercenaries have been shut down. So we're not going to be able to play this game online anymore, which is rubbish. And more rubbish because Sony didn't tell anybody that they were going to do this. So if you were planning to play this and get the platinum, that's going to be really difficult now. It sounds like from a couple of people in the chat that it is still possible, but it's not easy. You may need to grind a bit to get that platinum, uh, which is disappointing. So Carl asks, is it undubbed Japanese games? So it is with Japanese voice acting still, but with English subtitles. So hey, I've got a friend request. Okay, that's probably one of you guys who's managed to figure out my PSN. Cool. Um, so it's you get to play yeah, Japanese games, but with English text. So I don't know if you guys have seen my recent videos, but I was playing Uppers, which is a Japanese kind of 3D beat 'em up, kind of like Streets of Rage or Final Fight, but just in 3D. Really cool game, really fun, really silly, really silly. But I definitely recommend that one, even if you're playing in Japanese. Actually, no, I gotta say, if you're playing it, it's still a fun game whether it's in Japanese or English. But the English patch makes it much better just because it's so over the top and silly that I think it's definitely worth grabbing on a hacked Vita and playing it properly with the English patch, I mean, so that you can understand it. So Art Soldier asks, if all the Vita game servers are shut down, maybe a Vita modder can make some kind of private server for the community. Maybe, that would be awesome if that's possible. I'm not very technical about these things. I can follow instructions to install hacks, but other than that, I probably couldn't do much more. But that would be very cool if that's possible. Um, Oh, Kevin Thomas remembers I loved Resistance as well. That outlasted Killzone, and it's a year older. Crazy. Yeah, that is a great point. How is Resistance? I need to double check, but if Resistance still has online and Killzone doesn't, that makes no sense. No sense at all. Um, this was a much more popular game, and much better as well. And if this is shut down and that one isn't, then that makes really no sense. So I need to go and check that game out as well. So Kevin says, yeah, that female-centric beat 'em up I mentioned. Yeah, it's called Uppers. It's really, really fun, really silly game. It's about basically these two guys who go around getting into fights because they want to impress girls and get love letters from them and get their underwear. That's pretty much the game, and they just get into really kind of crazy, silly situations. It's so much fun. Really, really stupid and fun. Yeah, Particles 3 says it'd be great if we can get private servers. Yeah, it would be. Maybe someone will figure that out. And some of the stuff that these hackers have been able to figure out has been amazing. So maybe someone will be able to figure out a way to do that. That would be very, very cool. So Carl Rowland asks, does Freedom Wars and Soul Sacrifice still have online? As far as I know, yes. I think those are another two games I'm going to check out after this and make sure that they do. Hopefully, nothing has happened to those ones because really, those are brilliant games. Um, but yeah, it's just the fact that they would shut down the servers on this and not tell anyone. It really doesn't inspire much hope for the way they're going to be treating the Vita in the future. Um, and we may just see that other games get shut down stealth like this, and we may just not have online open for Little Big Planet, Soul Sacrifice. Games like this may just kind of disappear almost from online, which would be really disappointing. Uh, Another one to think about is Unit 13. Really good game, really fun game, and really fun to play with someone as well. If you get the chance, that's a really good co-op game. So Thomas says he would have played more Killzone Mercenary if he knew the servers were going to shut down. Yeah, same here. It's one of these games where it's actually on. Like I said, I'm playing on my hack Vita, but it's on my regular Vita from when I bought it. It's still sitting there. It's one of these games where I kind of feel like I wouldn't delete it. I wouldn't want to remove it. And yeah, it was kind of I was always sort of my plan, like to go back to it and try and platinum it one day. But maybe, I mean, if you can still get the platinum, then maybe I'll do that. But I just feel a bit less likely now because some of these things would be easier and just more fun when you're playing online rather than having to grind on your own. Oh, so Javier says Helldivers is really active. Helldivers probably has the advantage that it's got PS4 and PS3 versions as well. And so you may get more people playing those versions rather than playing the Vita version. So I think that's probably going to be good for a while. I think that's probably the case with Dragon's Crown as well, which is another great game. I think because there's a PS3 and PS4 version, the PS4 version came out pretty recently. I think we're likely to see that continue for quite a while. Yeah, Kevin, so it sounds like you haven't played Unit 13. Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely worth checking out. It's another one of these games where I think Vita games in general got a lot of unfair reviews, I'd say. Some of these games I think really deserved more, and I think people kind of, or reviewers sort of assumed the Vita was a console rather than sort of taking it for what it is. It's a handheld that can, play games of that quality. And I think Unit 13 deserved much, much higher review scores than it got. I think it was sitting at a Metacritic of like 70 or something, or even like 60 something, which was just unfair because it was such a fun game. The lie detector. So it was you who sent the friend request. Cool. I'm glad that worked. Kanye asks, did you think that, do I think the PS5 will have remote play support? I mentioned this before. I don't think it will. I just can't see Sony bothering anymore with the Vita for this kind of thing. There is remote play does work with mobile and with PC. So I don't think they're going to bother trying to put it on the Vita. And the Vita was always flawed a bit at remote play because it doesn't have the have L2 and R2. So I don't see them bothering with this really, unfortunately. Kevin Thomas mentions Phantom Breaker. That's a really fun game. Really, really fun game. It's another kind of beat 'em up. And actually, I really like the RPG elements of that as well. So you're playing this group of girls who are trying to rescue their friend. Really, really fun game. Really, really, really like that one. I'll try and stream that one day. It's a good game, and I think it doesn't get talked about enough, to be honest. So I may just give that a play later. The lie detector asks, would I recommend Persona 4? Definitely, definitely. It's one of these games where I think it's almost like kind of a must play on the Vita. So many people have played it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised you haven't. It seems like one of these games that everyone's played. I hadn't played a Persona game before that, and it was brilliant. Really, really good. Really kind of exceeded expectations. And since then, I played Persona 3 and Persona 5. And both of them have been awesome as well. I think Persona 5 is my favorite, but Persona 4 Golden is an amazing game and really amazing on the Vita as well. So Kevin Thomas says the Vita was initially compared to the PS3 3 instead of standing on its own. Um, Compared to mobile games, it gets dominated. Yeah, it's Sony did compare it to PS3 a lot, but funny thing is, um, developers who I've spoken to have compared it to the PS3 in terms of its power, which is really interesting. So it seemed like it is a really powerful little handheld. I heard recently from someone that actually developing for the Vita was not that different and that much. It was as complicated as developing for the PS3. And so, it was. I think that was one of the reasons why developers found it kind of a lot of work because it was a lot of work to actually develop for. But then you had a much smaller install base, and so it meant people were just less willing to actually put that time into to make games for it. Unfortunately, so John Grable mentions that for Killzone Mercenaries, you can buy the Bot Zone DLC. Yeah, definitely, it's really worth getting. Um, it means that you can still play all those multiplayer modes, um, and but just with in single player basically, which is not perfect, but it's something. It's something. You've had your so Choco Smoke mentions he's had his Fat Vita since launch. Yep, I've got mine as well. Um, I actually changed that one, so that one I don't use it as much. It's for my US account, and so my main Vita is my EU one. Then this is my hacked one, and then my fat one is for the US account. Mainly so I can play all those kind of PS1 games that we never got in the EU. Oh, so Lie Detector says he's only played PS Vita for a few months now, and Persona 4 Golden is pretty expensive. Yeah, that game. Um, I got the physical version for it. I bought it a few months after it came out, and I only paid about £15 for it, which is about maybe $20. I can't believe how much the prices have risen in that game. It seemed for a long time that the prices were pretty stable, but recently, especially, it's got really expensive. But if you can, if there's a sale, especially for the digital version, it's one of these games where it's no bad thing to have it digitally, assuming you have the memory card space, just because it takes so long to finish, that you may just want to have it sort of kind of handy on your memory card. That game took me about 75 hours to finish. So it's a really big game. I didn't finish it in one go. I think I played about 30, 40 hours, took a break from it, and came back a few months later and played it again. Oh, so Chris says that he was playing Killzone Mercenary earlier today. That's cool, man. You must have been a psychic or something, or just had the bell ringing in your head that they were going to shut down the servers. Which is super disappointing, guys. If you're just joining the stream, one of the reasons I chose this game today was that Sony decided to shut down the servers for Killzone Mercenary. One of the best games on the Vita, one of the first party games. We didn't get that many first party games, and they decided to shut down the servers. Um, Super disappointing. And what makes it even worse is they just didn't tell anybody they were going to do it. Um, so Chris mentions that he loves. Oh, I'm getting hit there. Chris mentions he loves Freedom Wars and Gravity Rush. Yeah, but love both of those as well. I'm actually thinking maybe one of my next streams could be Gravity Rush. Art Soldier. So you mentioned that you didn't play Freedom Wars because you heard there was a cliffhanger ending. Um, I'm not sure. So I didn't get to the way you play Freedom Wars is you take lots of missions and you become and you have this sentence. It's kind of this future dystopian world where you have a sentence of 1,000,000 years, where because you are using resources of that city, you have to kind of compensate them with jobs that you do, and you got a million year sentence that you need to work out by doing these kind of jobs and killing monsters and stuff. Um, and so I never finished the whole 1,000,000 years. I think I got to about 700,000. So I eliminated 300,000 years from my sentence, but couldn't finish it all. Um, so that was I'm not sure if it was a cliffhanger ending. I know there was a bit of a cliffhanger at that point. I definitely hadn't finished it by that point, but I'm not sure if there's a full on cliffhanger ending in that game. But maybe you're right. Sorry, just trying to do one of these silly puzzles. What is going on? Oh God. And I ran out of time. I don't know if I need to do that puzzle. It doesn't seem like it. So I'll just move on. Who cares? Um, so let's go back to the chat. Go back to you guys. Um, Smoke says he's played so many hours of Freedom Wars. Yeah, you can get really lost in that game. I mean, I definitely kind of put in about maybe 25, 30 hours. And like I said, I haven't even finished the game. I didn't get to kind of zero years on that game. So, there's a lot to do. But last time I played a few months, about probably 18 months ago now, it was they still had a lot of people playing online. I was able to find people constantly, which was great. So Chris, you got the last trophy a few weeks ago. So yeah, very very cool. Lucky that you were able to do that in time. You'll be yeah, one of the few people at this point then who has that. But like I said, it sounds like, guys, even though the servers have been shut down, it sounds like you can still get the platinum. It's just going to be a bit tougher and more grinding. So the lie detector says buying physical is the best option since he's got no space in the memory card. Yeah, I can understand that, man. It's I kind of go back and forth sometimes. Sometimes I think, maybe digital's okay. Especially on my Switch Lite, I kind of just feel like it's like it's just easier almost to have digital. But then, things like this happen, or Sony removed Wipeout Pure and Gran Turismo from the servers recently, the PSP games, which are both really good. And it's things like that happen. It just makes you think, actually, better to have a physical, because when some of these games go, they're going to be gone forever. Like there was that game that was Big Fest. That was it, Big Fest on PS Vita. That game is gone now forever. You cannot download that game. You can't play that game ever again, and that's really bad. That's just rubbish that can happen. So yeah, I think right now I'm kind of feeling that actually physical is definitely the best way to buy games so you can play them again in future. Oh, so Brian's mentioning Nintendo Wii and DS have private servers. Okay, that's very cool. I did not know that. So maybe there is hope for someone figuring out for Vita as well. So Kevin mentions for Freedom Wars, he was down to 400,000 years. Um, it's definitely a grind. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but yeah, it's a lot of work to get to that point. Um, the lie detector says, "Have I played Hotline Miami?" I have, and it's brilliant. I actually prefer Hotline Miami 1 to Hotline Miami 2. I found two, the maps were just a bit too big, and sometimes I would just get shot off screen. And so, I just found one was just perfect. It was just such a good game, so much fun. I finished it the first weekend I got it because I just couldn't put it down. Art Soldier, yeah, cool. I do recommend Freedom Wars. It's definitely worth playing. It's definitely a good game to check out. Coombsy has mentioned the Hori R2 L2 pad has shot up in price. Over £100. That's crazy. Wow. Um, yeah, I'm so glad I bought one when I did. I do love remote play. It's a very cool feature. So I'm definitely glad I managed to pick one up when the price was more normal. So Brian bought Bioshock Collection and Borderlands Collection today. Uh, yeah, those I'm sure will be a lot of fun. Borderlands is great. I'm sure that even on the Switch, that's gonna play really well and be good. I thought Borderlands 2 on the Vita was good. There were performance issues. I think I had a couple of crashes, but other than that, I thought it was really good. So I'm sure on the Switch it'll be a lot of fun as well. Uh, Lie Detector asks, "Have I played Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom?" Yes, I have. Really good game. I was actually a big fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast. That was that and I can't actually remember what it was. There were two games, my kind of launch games on the Dreamcast, and that was one of them. It was one of the reasons I bought a Dreamcast. Such a good game. So yeah, I did enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on the Vita. The only thing I didn't enjoy about it was how cheap the last boss was. Um, Galactus was a real pain to kill, um, unless I found anyway. Unless I had characters. Excuse me, guys. I'm just gonna have a sip of water. Sorry. Sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, no, I found Galactus was a really cheap boss. Unless you had like uh, any heroes that could do projectiles, like Cable or Iron Man, I found him really hard to kill. So that was the only thing I didn't like about that game. But otherwise, it was great. And actually, what I really liked is just having like a very kind of cool roster of heroes. You know, having like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and then also having like some like Spider Man, and you know some of the Capcom characters like Ryu, Dante. Yeah, there was a lot of cool characters there. Ah, I died. Oops. Um, so Choco Smoke, can you find the? You can't find. Can I find the VPK online? Um, I'm not sure which game are you talking about, man. I can't. Sorry, you guys have left a lot of comments. I've been concentrating on the game. I haven't looked at comments enough. Um, oh, there was a rugby game that was never digital, and you found the VPK and it works. Okay, interesting. Which game wasn't digital? It may have been the Jonah Lomu one. There was a couple of rugby games on the Vita, surprisingly. Like it's not a sport I would kind of assume would be featured in a lot of games, especially not on the Vita. But I think we have two or three games like that randomly on the Vita. Oh, Jonah Lomu. Okay, that's okay. Interesting. I actually have that physically. Interestingly, I haven't played it yet. It's one of these games where, so you know, uh, I have a admitted problem, guys, where I do kind of buy a lot of Vita games. I do collect a lot of Vita games, so you know, I bought that game like a lot of games and just never actually installed it or played it yet. I'm sure I'll get to it one day, but I don't even know if it's actually that good or not. But yep, I've still got it. Uh, Lie Detector asks if I've platinum Hotline Miami. No, I haven't. I did find that I found it quite a hard platinum to get. I think there were some of the trophies that were really tough, so I never actually kind of put the effort in to do something like that. I actually don't have that many platinums. On the Vita, you know, I've got which games have I got? I know I've got Uncharted, Gravity Rush. I've got Plants vs Zombies. You know, that was one of the launch games on the Vita. I managed to get that platinum. Um, I probably only have in total, including PS4 games, maybe 15. No, I lie now. I've got about 12 platinums of normal games, but when you include Ratlaker, then I've got every platinum of those games that pretty much I've played because they just pop within 10 minutes. Um, but yeah, for most games, for most other games, I don't have that many platinums. So Drowning Lemming mentions that Borderlands on the Switch is amazing. That's good to know. That's good to know. You know, I did love Borderlands 2 on the Vita. Really fun game. And actually I would like to play it. I probably would happily play it on the Switch, but I think I've just got too much on right now, and I prioritized getting XCOM 2 because I just love that game. I played it on the PS4, really fun. I loved XCOM 1 on the Vita, and so I grabbed that one, but I just haven't really put enough time into it this weekend yet. But that's fine. I'll get to it eventually. Uh, so Kevin Thomas mentions Borderlands 2 is what getting got him into the franchise. Yeah, really good game. Lance mentions, yep, Killzone. It's been a really good ride, lads. Yeah, such a so annoying. Such a shame that they've gone ahead and closed those servers. And you know, if they could have given us like a month's notice, then I'm sure everyone would have been playing it, and just you know, it would have been this kind of great thing to everyone trying to play it online and get the trophies. But they just decided to shut down the trophies without telling anyone. Um, Dennis asks, why is this happening? Well, it's just Sony, isn't it? It's they seem to do this sort of thing to the Vita a lot. So yeah, there's not a lot we can do. Mr. Fwibble, Soul Calibur. Yeah, I loved Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. Loved that game. That was one of so I remember when I got the Dreamcast, I was still living with friends from uni, and so that was one of our games we'd play kind of after a drunken night out, and just mess around with Soul Calibur. Really great game, really kind of amazing looking as well. Just kind of sold that system to anybody. Brian asks, how busy were the servers for Killzone Mercenary? Um, I don't know. I do know that people were still playing. I remember seeing on Twitter that people were playing. I think it was a few weeks ago, and so people were still playing. So I don't know if they were busy or not necessarily the servers, but there was clearly still some demand. But I don't think Sony really cared about that. So Snatch says need to do the rugby challenge online for the PS3. I'll give this game a go eventually. I'll give it a try, maybe in a future stream to see what the rugby game Jonah Lomu is like. Oh, so Chris mentions the servers. Last he checked, servers were pretty empty. Okay, that's a shame. I mean, you know, if they're making this decision to shut down the servers, it's probably because there wasn't a huge amount of demand. There's not going to be a huge amount of demand anyway for Vita games, especially online. But why not just keep it going? Just or at least tell people if you're going to close the servers. Let them know so they can do something about it. Don't just shut them down and just leave people hanging like that. That's kind of the worst thing about it all for me, guys, to be honest. Um, yeah, really disappointing. But guys, I'm gonna shut down now. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you, to the guys that donated. That was completely unexpected. It's Drowning Lemming, Rick Weiss, and Choco Smoke. Guys, thank you so much. This is really appreciated. Um, hey, look, I was gonna do a stream for XCOM on the Vita, so let me know what you guys think. If there's another game you'd want me to do, I thought it might be kind of cool to do something like that, especially since the XCOM 2 came out for Switch. But hey, if you want to leave a comment now or leave a comment later, I'll check it out and happy to take suggestions. But it's been really cool, kind of being online, chatting with you guys, and like I said. Drowning Lemming, Choco Smoke, Rick Weiss, thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate the donation. Totally unnecessary. Please don't feel you need to do that. Just come, enjoy. Let's just chat about the Vita. That's all that really matters. But I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. So good night, guys. Thank you very much, and you will see me again probably in a couple of days. And I'll make sure I give some notice next time. In my YouTube channel, I'll put an announcement out so that you guys can see when I'm going to start streaming. But thank you very much, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Choco Smoke, Snatch, Light Sector,